Hello, dear viewers. I have not done many intros. That was already cringy and awkward, but I have filmed at least 2 or 3 of them and promptly deleted them, including one earlier because I didn't realize that I had cut my head off from here and it was incredibly distracting, as are the rings around my eyes because of the light. But I need the light because it is dismal and dreary outside, and so we're just going to get through this together. I hope you don't mind. I am doing an intro because June was a challenging month for me, and I am seeking my sister's permission to share information about her. She almost died because of alcohol, and it has been a challenge in her life. Her husband had already passed away because of the same challenges. Being my heart sister, she is the one person in the world that I just cannot imagine what my life would have been like without her. It mattered probably more than most other big moments in life have mattered or will matter. I don't know how you verbalize these sorts of things, honestly. To say them out loud, it's still scary, and to say them out loud without the freedom of privacy or anything else. But I have always and will continue to be a person who says, please use my story to help you. And in this regard, one part of that story is my sister's, but the other part is mine, because previous times when she has fallen ill, I could not help her or be in a space that would be supportive because I didn't know how to, without trying to take control of everything and fix everything, and it would tear me apart and it would do her no justice and no help at all. So I'm very glad that all of the things that I have done in the past to be in a better space for that is actually functional now. I can use it, I can do it, and I think that it makes me feel a little bit more secure and centered. I don't know if I'm doing it well. I'm sure I'm not doing it right, whatever right is. I don't think anybody knows the right way to do it. And I am sure that, unfortunately, I might be there again and already know that I am. So we're just going to keep pushing ahead. I really hope my editing skills are good to take out the parts of this that are not working well. So I just wanted to put that out there. Take it as a trigger warning if you want to. But it is one of the reasons also why I fell off the wagon in filming and doing updates on YouTube. It sent me for a loop, as well as illnesses. Phil got sick, my son got sick, I got sick, and I just, ever since, it has been hard to, it's climbing up that hill. We are Sisyphus and life is the boulder, and we're gonna make it. But some things that you're gonna find in this video. First, you're gonna find my June flip throughs. You're gonna see one weekly where I didn't use any stickers, I didn't use any markers. It was all just pens of different colors, and that's kind of fun. You will see what I'm doing in August. That's a bit different. Thank you, Hobonichi release coming out, because now I'm rethinking how I do everything. And you will also see how July is virtually empty, because I do a quick little skip through for the weeklies of July and what I've had to do to make up for that. I want every page filled by the end of the year. That is my goal. Look at this bad boy, right? Like, isn't she pretty? My journal is gender fluid. I was thinking next year of getting the Avec, because I was afraid of how chunky it's going to be. Now, granted, it is almost September. Tomorrow will be September, and I still have a good amount to go through, so perhaps it will get too chunky. But as it is now, this is so satisfying. This is so satisfying to hold. It is so satisfying to flip through the pages. And when I brought it out with me yesterday, because I just wanted my girlfriend to see it, because I was doing new things in it and I wanted her to see, she said it looks like the kind of book that you would see in a movie. You know, it makes me think of like National Treasure, The Librarian, Da Vinci Code, you know, Supernatural, you know, looking in Dad's journal. Where did they hide the treasure? The notes of your life. Except those books, presumably, were for a person's entire life. This is 1 year, guys. I'm only 8 months in. I mean, this is exciting. This is fun. So I hope everybody is itching and feeling good about the new Hobonichi release. I hope that this video inspires anybody to take up planning of any kind, journaling of any kind, artwork of any kind, freedom to express the stresses and messiness of daily life and share them with everybody else. Beauty's in the chaos. I think that planner people will understand a lot that the messiness of life doesn't just stay there. We spread it out, we give it away. And sometimes when it affects our planners, we get new planners. In life, you can't really do that. I hope that if your ink smears tomorrow, or your sticker peels the page, or your child spills we got this. If your child spills spaghetti on your pages, I hope you can embrace it. And I hope that you can see it as a new form of art. And all it does is remind you that we are all doing our best and we're kicking ass, including my sister and including you. And I will see you on the page in just a second. This is my third time filming it. I am not going to film this anymore, okay? This is it for the intro. That's it. See you soon. All right, everybody. Let's give this a second go round. Let's get into June. I made you wait long enough, haven't I? So I am liking how this cover is loosening up and getting aged and showing some wear. It pleases me. I just love stuff like this. I've always wanted something like this. The thickness is pleasing me. These markers are just so I know where to flip through when we go through. When it's June, you can see I have a little supplement notebook here that I rarely use. This is what's left of unused pages, or at least pages that have not been quite as used and beat up. I have not painted in a while. I don't have anything on the inside. I'm watching a lot of planner videos right now because obviously the 2025 lineup is coming out, and I'm noticing that people also decorate the inside pages a lot. I love that they do that. I did not do that. We'll see if I decide to do it. I did pull out a bunch of ephemera that I was like, oh, I could actually put this in there. I'm getting inspired even still after all these months and a cousin. This is a political preference sticker a friend gave me. Let's get going. I'm feeling flustered because I had to say things at the beginning. I think that's what the deal is. I noticed that some people use this as like a day off tracker. So these are the days off that I get from work for holidays. It always feels generous in the moment, but when you look back on it, it sucks. And I remember January to May is always a slog. So I like to make sure I save some of my accrued PTO so I can take some time off up into there. Still don't use this for anything. In my yearly index, I did decide to backtrack a little bit so that I can more easily see my workouts. So I do this at the back of the 365 tracker. I will show you now. My 365, orange is for working out. Anything that's kind of red, which is kind of hard to tell the difference, is when I did a workout and took a walk. Yellow is a walk. And then up here, pink was yoga, blue was meditate, and purple was that I did both that day. As much as I do like this, it doesn't show me the frequency as well to me as this. For some reason, this shows me, okay, I am doing good with working out. I'm going to go back and fill things in properly. This is what I've been doing so far. I'm really pleased with my August today. I'm hoping I can film this video in enough time to do some yoga. I don't typically like to work out this many days in a row, but I figure if I do yoga on the days off, I really have to improve my flexibility. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I am feeling the loss, you guys. I am feeling it. I kind of fell off just having this be a focus for me each day, and I'm hoping to get better. So on my monthly plan, I did have to cancel my ladies' do shit night the night before my sister went into the ICU. She's been hospitalized before, and truthfully, I was not in a space in my own mind to have excellent boundary setting while giving care, and that was something I had to work on, and I worked on it well. If anybody is out there and is familiar with Al-Anon, it does help, although I was in Al-Anon for my boyfriend at the time. Now in reflection, I look back and I'm like, I can't believe I was even ever with you. Like that, it's crazy. But you know, we do what we need to do for ourselves in the moment. And she was in the hospital from the 4th until the 11th, but she was in the ICU for just a night and then moved to a regular room. And then I went to go see her each day. That'll come up later. And I just decorate the edges of the pages still very very functional. This is just very functional. This is like, show me the shit I have to do. Sometimes I will add something that came up like this. Like, this is not something I have to do. This is just a month at a glance to see, oh, these are things that I did. So let's get into the weeklies. It's funny because as I'm doing my weeklies now, I feel like they don't have the same pizzazz. And I'm like, what the heck happened to me in June that makes them not have the same pizzazz? For instance, compare this page to this one last week in August. I mean, it still has a lot. It's still busy. There's still a lot of stuff. This was like journaling to me in a way. June starts here, and I had a gig that day, and coffee and reading in the morning. My son got sick. This is where it starts, guys. This is where June just wanting to mess with me and challenge me and make sure I'm still growing. This is where it starts. And my partner and I went to Foundry Day while my kiddo stayed home relaxing, and he got me my birthday earrings. My birthday was in May, and he had been looking for silver earrings for me. And the earrings he ended up getting me are actually the same maker of this. Earlier when I said I've been looking for ephemera to add to my journal, I actually found the business card. So now I know that I can go to June 1st and kind of stick that on there. I do like having that kind of stuff because I keep people's business cards, but what am I going to do with them? I do have like a old cigarette case that I put them in thinking I'd use them for bookmarks. I am not using them for bookmarks. So perhaps I can just put them in my journal and feel like, okay, I still have them, but they're not just out there, detritus in my midst, just tripping me up in life by being messy. So I'm going to maybe just start adding them to here. And my God, this book will be so thick after that moment. So he was still sick. We had friends at the patio, and just my day, I still end things on what we watch before bed. I sometimes will put what we ate, but mostly main things we've done that day. So like we saw my friend Rebecca when we got bagels. Then my son went back over to his dad's house. We planted finally our milkweed and hydrangea bushes that we had gotten a couple weeks prior at a plant festival. And my partner and our friend Kevin went and cut some trees down. Just some big things that are fun to keep track of, I mean, and fun. Let's see, I started reading The Cartographers, or maybe I had already been reading it really good, on audiobook, Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. That was a super fun read. She might be a Gillian, not a Jillian. I am unsure, but that was a really fun read if you like mysteries with a little bit of, it's not sci-fi, it's not magic realism, it's the improbable happens and how she gets through it. Very fun to read. I was tracking reading, exercising, and learning. Learning is through LinkedIn Learning at work. And I decided to just do a very simple tracker. Just put the days and then whatever place it is up here, that's how I blocked it off there. In very light ink, you can see underneath I wrote what it was because for some reason I couldn't keep track of the 3 lines. I figured it out later, of course. I added some doodling. I get self-conscious now that people at work will see my channel and think that I'm not working because I write all this other stuff. So now I feel like I have to make it very clear I am also working. I tried some Pilates. I think that's the only time that I did Pilates. And then I also did some Grow with Jo workouts. I had started her a couple weeks prior, I believe. A lot of fun. And to this day, I have been doing these types of workouts, not just Grow with Jo, but Olivia Lawson is one. Mad Fit is another. Just living room workouts. And they are really making me feel good. And I'm so happy to, being the end of August, so it's been at least 3 full months. I'm very happy to have that feeling back again of I need to work out. And I love that feeling because it's so hard. It's so hard when you fall out of it to get back to it. You guys, I support you. Keep doing it if it's something you need to do. Just remember you can start with 15-minute workouts. One day I just went from 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And then just yesterday I did 30 minutes and I found another one that was 15 minutes for a total of a 45-minute workout. And it feels really good because as you get better with the breathing and the moving, you're like, oh, okay, like I feel warmed up now. I'm ready to do some more. It's kick ass. If you could work out with me, I would invite you into my living room to do these with me. In fact, I considered like filming myself doing it and being like a channel called Gym Buddy, where I will pick an online workout on YouTube and I will work out and I'll talk to you the whole time and be like, yep, I'm screwing this move up, but whatever, just keep going because I'm here for you. So anyways, hello, hi, welcome to my life. We had a practice. I was trying to create some lo-fi videos, like listening to music for an hour on YouTube. It's really fun to do. Wore a jumpsuit to work, another jumpsuit day. I got some great overalls from Quince. They're fabulous. They're all linen. I played a gig in them and I love, they're so comfortable. They're not very flattering for the ass, but that's okay. Not everybody has to know how hard I'm working out. Brought in a packed lunch. And then I got the call that my sister was in the ICU. She basically was extremely dehydrated, very low levels that are necessary for your brain to function, and the body was just trying to pull it from anywhere it could. And so when I went to go see her after work, she was very out of it, but she was there. The way that she looked at me when I had to leave, I haven't seen since we were kids. So it was very difficult to sleep. I called the nurses all night. She made it through the night and she came out of the danger zone. So then she ended up in the regular room. I worked a little bit and then I went to go see her over lunch. And then I basically ended up working out of the hospital room to stay there. Met my mother there. My partner Phil also was there. So then we started eating some food from the cafeteria. Brought my nephew home. Nothing will get me to write more than sadness and stress. So I got some writing done. I had some coffee and did some reading. I'm much better at handling these sorts of situations now. Did a walking workout. I got my son and now his ears are aching. So if you recall, he got sick over the weekend. Now his ears are aching. Turns out he had a double ear infection and the fluid caused one of his eardrums to burst, and it was caused by whatever illness this was, which will make an appearance later. Lucky us. And then Sunday's the only day I didn't go to see her. She was out of the woods. She was getting to be a little bit more like herself. Did coffee and reading, and then me and Phil got brunch at the Englewood. It's funny because it's only like 5 days, but when something big takes your attention, it really feels like it's taking all of your attention. So this day was needed. I wore my jumpsuit again this day, actually, my overalls, when we went to Lidditz to walk around. And then we met some friends later at our favorite spot for happy hour. And then more friends came to the patio after that. The mosquitoes are just absolutely ridiculous this year. And I usually spend all summer on the patio. And this summer I've just been like, I have to go inside. I can't take this. So that was a great day. Oh, let me revisit this real quick. So starting after this Sunday, when I met with Melissa, I was counting my calories, and I hate counting calories. I had been doing it for about 2 weeks or a week or two, and I just decided I don't want to count calories anymore. I hate doing it. Eating food just because it's a low calorie count, it doesn't necessarily make you feel good. So talking to my friend, she said that she just started counting her fiber and protein intake. And once she started doing that, she actually started losing weight as well. Not that I need to lose weight. It's nice to. There was a period of time where I started boxing. I did get very depressed and a bit anxious, and a bit, yeah. And I lost about 30 pounds, but I especially liked the boxing. And then COVID happened and I had to stop boxing, and then everything went back up to a comfortable 150 to 155. And that is where I always remain. And I'd like to just be at least 145. That would feel nice. I hate talking about weight. I'm sorry I'm doing this, but it is something I'm thinking about, and it is why I am doing these things. I want my body to be where it feels comfortable, but I need to eat better at the same time. Calories is not going to make you eat better. You can eat salads every single day for the rest of your life and still have nutritional deficiencies. So I am tracking now my fiber and protein, because you get nutrients when you focus on eating fiber, unless you're eating like Fiber One bars all freaking day. So I started tracking them. I want to get at least 25 to 35 grams of fiber and at least 65 grams of protein, although more the better now that I'm working out. Protein was hard for me to get, honestly, because I don't eat a lot of meat and I wasn't eating a lot of plant-based protein, and this definitely helped me. So I'm pretty stoked. To this day, I haven't really lost any weight, but I do think I look better and I feel better. So, take that how you want to take that, which is how I'm giving it to you. My God, I appreciate everybody who sticks around and listens to me talk. You guys are fabulous. You're like love you guys. Let's meet up. So Monday, coffee. Collect a list of high fiber food options. Focused on work to get a lot of stuff. Did my workout. Typically, I do that over lunch. Then I went to go see my sister. She ate and she napped. I was very happy that she slept while I was there because she had basically been staying awake the whole time. Now, the travesty of this is she not forgot, but she didn't even know why she was there or that she was there for as long as she was. It was rough. Picked up my son, made dinner, and I love that he's still watching Supernatural with me and is still into it. Had meetings and lunch, and then I went to go see my sister and did some advocacy for her while we were there so that she could go on to her next steps. And I'm so proud of her for doing that. Currently, as we stand, I hope she does it again. I'm glad she did it. And every single time she does it, it's just got to keep supporting that because one day it'll stick. That's my hope, and I'm going to keep doing it. So was able to watch an episode of Supernatural with my son, and then I had some practice, and I believe that my son got picked up by his dad. Listening to an audiobook going into work. There's a woman at work who talks planners with me. I friggin' love it, but I can get stuck in it forever. And she is one of the risk takers, so she'll go in and buy something halfway through the year and give it a try, which I adore because then I get to sneak a peek at it. So I love you, the people who do that. Thank you. I did some writing because, again, stress helps me writing. My son was taking antibiotics, had to go bring it to him. Patio time. I finally felt like I could take a breath of fresh air now that my sister was on to her next step. So it was a rough month. However, at this point in time, Phil's going to make an appearance on Getting Sick. This is a sticker from a little pack I got at Michael's. Did some work. I like this kind of highlighting and then just doing little parts of it. It makes it look kind of, I don't know, makes me think of graffiti. I only did a 15-minute workout, but 15 minutes is better than nothing. This is when I started eating breakfast a little earlier, and Phil is sick. Coffee, I filmed the May flip through. We all got breakfast together. This was the Appalachian Trail Music Festival, and this is some of the bands that were playing. We do that every year. It happens on Father's Day. That's right, Father's Day. And more patio time. This week, I did no stickers. Check it out. I just used those Right Gel pens that are in a big color scheme. This pink is out of ink now, and I can see why. I definitely use it a lot. And there's another one that's out of ink. I really liked this pen set, and I should get more colors. I'm just trying not to spend money. But it looks pretty cool, right? I think it still works. Like I don't need to have stickers everywhere. And I didn't even go fancy with the writing. There are some, bigger things with writing, but for the most part, it's just simple writing. So I had coffee and not coffee. Then my throat started hurting. So now it's my turn, right? And Phil's ears have already started hurting. Got my reading, my exercise. Now I'm tracking my fiber and protein goal. That's pretty cool. You'll see that takes a different spin later on as well. Now I'm reading Turn to the Key by Ruth Ware. Really like her. And listening to Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is also good. And then I finished Turn to the Key and also started reading The It Girl. And then I said, sure do wish I didn't have to work while sick. I need to lay around, but I had to work the whole week. It's this period of the second half of the month is always the busiest for me at work. Coffee, meetings, newsletters, throat increasingly worse. I have a gig on Sunday, so I am very nervous about all of this. I am trying very hard not to talk to people, not to be around people, because I have to do this gig, and it's only 1 hour, and it's only going to be me and our other string man because Phil was sick and was going to sit out. And I just needed to be aware for this. And fortunately, we were doing just our originals. So that next day, I'm like, I feel like shit. I'm taking my medicine, but I'm trying to time it with the gig. Phil did pack the car. And then while we were sitting under the canopy, an enormous branch fell from a tree above us on the patio, and it terrified me. It was so huge. If that canopy wasn't there, I would have gotten hit in the head. And it was a pretty heavy branch and falling at velocity, just terrifying. So apparently I got mad at Phil. I guess he was talking about, I'm still going to play and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, just don't. Okay, stop. So I called on friends for cough drops. One of our friends, who's also a singer, brought honey packets. I'm going to keep those all the time now at my mic stand because it so helped. It so helped. I feel like I'm talking like wild and crazy. I don't know. You ever get self-conscious that you're boring the crap out of people and they're just fast forwarding, like, I don't care about your life, just show me the planner. And I'm like, I know. But I figure if the page is open, maybe you're looking somewhere else. I don't know. It's how I do it. Like I said, it's kind of like, a vlog of my planner. This is my planner's life, you know, living vicariously through me. But the gig went pretty well. My friends did say that they could tell by the last two songs, I saved the more energetic ones for the end, that if I had to keep going, it would have. I will say, though, that my voice had an even extra kind of throaty, scratchy quality, which I think is awesome. Growing up, I wanted a voice like Demi Moore, or was it Heather Locklear who was in Fall Guy? And did she have that like deep, scratchy voice? I just thought it was so cool. I liked that kind of throatiness that my voice had for it. I don't know, maybe I'll play a little clip in this because we recorded it. And you can see what I do on the side. And we are almost to the end of the month. I got some life back. Like I definitely preferable, right? Like this was cool and I didn't have to stress and it was just write shit down, different color pens, it works. But it is nice when you have like stickers and stuff, right? Tried this kind of a tracker, don't like it. So I guess when I do the one, it means I got one of them. No exercise that week. Being sick, no exercise. Let's see, this last week, I did exercise. Look at me go, but this week, no exercise. Started re-knitting Voss's sweater because he lost a lot of weight. He stopped drinking, he lost a lot of weight, and I was like, now I have to pull out what I have done of your sweater and redo it. I finally went to work, and then I went to urgent care because I was like, okay, I have done my gig. No doctor will tell me to skip the gig, so now I can go to the doctor. And of course, there was nothing they could do but treat the symptoms. It wasn't COVID, it wasn't strep, though they tested me. And they did give me an inhaler because my breathing had gotten pretty worse. I always write my physical symptoms down because I imagine if I die in the night, then somebody can investigate, you know, oh my God, she left us clues. Like, I really think that when people really need a diagnosis, they need people like us, people who need to record everything. Discoveries will be made when they go through other people's planners who are detailed, because they'll be like, oh, this person, this happened, you know, this diagnosis came about when she was 63 and she had been writing about symptoms for it when she was 47, and now we know, you know. Okay. My brain. I'm at the house by myself. This is just my brain. I was very tired, had oatmeal. I didn't go to happy hour or anything. I really enjoyed just being at home, and I liked even more that I had the excuse. Even though I can stay home anytime I want, which would probably be more often than I want, I still feel like I'm missing seeing my friends. I'm missing being outside. If I'm sick, I can stay home. If I have my son, I can stay home. And it's easy and there's no thoughts about it. If I just say, no, I'm going to stay home, the whole time I'm at home, I'm like, oh man, what if I made the wrong choice? You know, like, what if the other side, I don't know, decision fatigue, probably. I don't know. I started the Bone Season. My mother gave me the Bone Season by Samantha Shannon years ago. I finally started reading it, and dudes, I read like 5 of the books and the novellas, and now I have to wait till January for the next one. They're so good. I read them in like a month. I love stuff like that. My nephew came over and did his hair, put some braids in, and now I see him about every 2 to 3 weeks to redo his hair for him, which is really fun. More Shetland. Had to go to Sally's with Bishop to get hair supplies. It took 3 hours to take his braids out and comb them through. And then we washed it, and then I did new braids, which took a bit. And so he just spent the night, which was great. And my son was here. The next day, we got the call that my sister was back, and she came over and we all got Chinese, and she was doing so much better. She was herself, and I was so proud of her. And it lasted as long as it needed to last until it hasn't. And I just hope it happens again, because I missed my sister. Like, I missed her. So my sister came from Maine to get Bishop, and my son woke up sick. He was nauseous, a lot of issues, and then he had a stomach bug that I felt awful for him. But man, is he a trooper. I slept on the couch with him, so he was sleeping upright. I was sleeping upright because he was just like, I can't lay down, and I totally understood, and I kept him company, and he did good. So then I had a stiff body, but kiddo was feeling better. He actually ate an English muffin, and then he went back to his dad's. And I missed him already immediately, but I made some Thai-style coconut shrimp ginger soup for dinner. That was delicious. Middle pages that are up here, I did not do anything else in them. I believe they are exactly the same as when you last saw them. I just like do some notes and ideas in here, and That's it. And let's get into June. So this is the page where I like to highlight big things for the month. Kick-ass gig at Back Porch. Saw my sister and my niece, and they took my nephew to go home with them for a week, which was awesome. My son got a haircut. I got a trim. Kiddo got sick. I exercised for 348 minutes. I only did 9 sessions. I like to try to do 15, but I haven't done that very well. But I was sick for most of the month. Did Bishop's hair. My sister was in the ICU, and then she, went to go help herself, and I'm very proud of her. Planted the Annabelle Smooth hydrangea and swamp milkweed plus common milkweed. Had another gig at Castle Rig. Started counting fiber and protein. Played a gig at the summer series while I was sick, and Phil had his ear infection, but it was only an hour, thank God. My son went to Hershey Park a lot, had a lot of fun. So stinking sick. O'Sheen, double ear infection, ruptured eardrum, throat, breathing, ears, fatigue, cough. Phil, same. Less throat, more cough. I'm telling you, I record everything to details. I don't know why. Started counting calories, then decided to count fiber and protein instead. This has nothing to do with anything except the picture. I had 574 subscribers on June 2nd. Currently, I have something like 627. I did have 628, but somebody unsubscribed, and that's okay. I like knowing that our circle is getting more condensed and understood and like-minded. So try not to let that stuff, get in my way. So journaling. Did some writing prompts for a lot of these days. I will admit that a lot of June ended up being blank, and I had to backfill, and that's part of the reason it took so long to film. And I still have that issue in July, and I can sneak forward a little bit to show you what I've done for that. So this is a writing prompt I am thinking about. I'm pretty sure I did that in bed. And then this one is called You Matter. I was trying to work on some words. This was backfilled after my sister was in the hospital, and I wanted to write a song, just because I want my writing to actually go somewhere, not just fuel my anxiety and my stress. And so I feel if I am writing with the purpose and intention of getting a song out of it, I do better mentally. So I did end up writing a song called Echoes. And maybe at the end of this, I'll just scroll what the lyrics are. I think that'd be kind of cool, actually. This is a post that said when I was young, I read The Secret Garden, and it was because I had these stickers there. This is not planned. I just put stickers on the pages, and then I write around them. This is June 4th, the day she went into the hospital, and these are all of my parking stickers to go see her. I wrote a little bit about my sister. I wrote a short story about her once called Concrete, because she has always been just so steadfast, also stubborn. She's always been strong. I always saw her as stronger than me. She was the first to stick up for herself, but especially for me, despite that she was younger than me. And I was not a great big sister when we were younger. I think that a lot of people will find when you grow up as the oldest and you are responsible for the younger ones, you lose your shit. Like, you don't know how to do it, and we had a way of growing up that was unconventional and disordered, but she was my rock, and now she is battling through her own ways of concreteness, so I wrote some stuff there. This is just some free thought writing. Before you use the parachute, you need to be willing to fall. If I jump up, it's just to jump. All ground and endless thought. Again, lyrics. And I don't ever use, well, I can't say I don't ever use, I don't write something and then use that to build a song. I write many things and pull parts from it, or I'm just trying to get the sense of it to write a song. And so far, I like it. I like it a lot. So this is some folk art. I love the look of it. When we went to Lidditz, there was a woman's paintings that I saw. I can put her Instagram here. I don't know why I'm saying this like I'm going to edit it. I was hoping that I would just upload it, but now I'm talking like I'm going to edit this. So I guess I'll do it. Put a picture of some of her work up here. She's on Instagram, and it's really cute and pretty. So I thought I would try to draw some, and then more just quick free writing, because I was like, I have to fill these pages up. Cats and spats and tuxedos on doors. It's a line in here somewhere. Trying to do some folk art type animal shapes. I like my mushroom. And I don't know what that is. Is that supposed to be like the gills of a mushroom or something? But I see a lot of people doodle this, and it's soothing to doodle. So I have made several of those. A little bit of sort of like journaling on the side, because I'm like, I have to fill these pages with something. And then I thought maybe I could use it as dailies. And I was like, nah, and did more doodling, which I also like. More doodling, more information about stuff that I was going through. I was like, can I just freeform folk art stuff? Like, what is the style? I don't know, but it filled a page. So I was happy for that. I was just feeling some stress about it, you know. This was great. I had this whole idea to just do a whole month of different flowers and vases and stuff, but once I plan that way, it's just not going to be great. I was working on a set list for a retirement party that we played at, and I'm just using my notebook. I'm like, I'm just going to use the paper, you know, and it didn't rain, but we still played. So I was pleased. Just doodling to fill the pages. Honestly, like I just slapped stickers randomly and then worked around them. And I'm fine with it. I really am. At first I was like, oh, this is lame. This is terrible. But this was a rough month. And I was like, you got to be able to do shit, you know. Tried to do some folk art trim line work and it's terrible. But I do this while I'm watching TV. This reminds me of labia. So you're welcome. Here's another folk art flower based on this one that I drew. So when I first did these pages, I like the bright green in the background. I think it's cool. Neon green. I don't know what it looks like on camera. So when I first did these, it was just the black. And then as I was just sitting there, I didn't want to start filling a new page. So I would go to a page where I already had stuff and do this wavy line stuff. Which is funny because I could have been filling other pages, but instead I was just doing this. This one makes me think of a razor blade, trying to play with all the different ways you can do leaves and folk art, little flowers of all different sizes and shapes, trees. Like, I love that a simple line is supposed to give the sense of texture, and I think that's cool. This reminds me of ladybugs, even though it's not. Really fun. I enjoyed doing that. Started a Zentangle thing, stopped. Writing about the gig and trying to do the set list. This was for the one that, and it is on the day. The next day was the summer series one where I played for an hour. We have a gig tomorrow. My throat is being an asshole. So if you were wondering, that's what I write about. And then I said, good gig. Thank God. Goodness, it was only an hour. I was knackered by the end. Beefed up Mark's classical skills, and then he didn't plug it in, which was hysterical. Missed Phil's drums and vocals, but the sound was great because he stayed to set up the sound. A few mess-ups, definitely not an energetic gig, but still really good. A doodle. This was fun. It was just all red, and then I went back later and colored in the flower. This is not exactly what I look at when I'm watching TV, but it's close. This carpet is actually in my reading room. It's not in this room. I don't have a cat. This painting is actually a portrait of a woman. It's not this. So I did this while standing up, and my water was boiling for coffee because I was like, I still have to fill some pages. So I just took my gouache and did it while I was standing up waiting for it. Same with these pages, just waiting and trying to fill it in. I didn't want to keep using green. I felt like I was using a lot of green, and I didn't know how to work with this. And I was just like, at least I'm just putting crap here. And it'll be interesting. I have a Posca pen, and perhaps I'll do something over this, and you can see it in my 6-month or year flip through. Some fun flowers that I don't use these stickers ever, but I was like, all right, I'll just use up stickers. Sometimes I'm in a mood, a don't give a shit mood, and I just use anything and place it randomly, and then I work with it. So that's what I did. Now, like I said, I'll show you July real quick. I have a lot of blank pages in here. What I did the other day with my son was I just covered up all the dates, and I went through and had random stickers just on these pages. So then I went back again and tried to make them more orderly. And you'll see I just journaled in this August 30th, you know, and it's supposed to be June or July 2nd. So I went through all of them with my rando stickers, and then I added what I could to make it look more cohesive. And now I'm just going to use that space in different ways. So I did that for all of the blank pages I had. Some of these, like this was July 9th, and I wrote in it already. And this was July 10th, and I wrote in it. But the ones that I am backfilling, I'm covering up the date and then just reusing it. Like this one looks pretty cool. You know, it's not technically, it's not fall or, you know, Halloween season, but I don't care. It looks good all together. I thought this was pretty fun, worked out. Like this was just randomly slapped there. This was randomly slapped there. And then I just added the rest to try to make it work. Like these two don't really go with each other, but I put them there, though she looks like a woman who would love coffee and books. So, you know, and I just did that for the whole month because I'm woefully behind. But now I like that I'm going to be using some of these pages for more like long form journaling. And I think they came out cool. And just sneak peek August, I am now using some of these pages for some actual keeping track. Watching planner videos and getting ready for the Hobonichi release gets me excited. Now, I thought that tomorrow was the 5-year Techo ordering day. I'm getting one, you guys. I'm gonna snag one of those embroidered covers because it's gorgeous. I know it's incredibly expensive, but I prepared myself and I'm ready to spend it. So yeah, let's go to the back and wrap this up. I still use my financial budgeting planner where I have planned out the whole year, every pay period, what bills to expect, because almost all my bills land on the exact same day of every month. In this box, I note which day of the month it is that it's supposed to be paid, which tells me which paycheck to consider paying that bill with. I split up my car payment in half, and I always put half of my mortgage payment away for every paycheck so that nothing huge ever comes out of one paycheck. And then I go through and check it off when I paid it. And when it leaves the account, I cross it out. So then when I go to look at my bank account, I know that what's in there is accurately accounted for, and I know how much to spend. This is money that is outside of my regular bills. So medical bills, money I may have borrowed from my mother, or, you know, something like that. Because yes, I'm 47 and my mother still helps me. Thank you, Mommy. I love you. This was still just ideas for videos that I could do in the future someday when I have my shit together. Let's all hope for that day, guys. I think that we will have a lot of fun. And still tracking books that I've read with this little book icon drawing here. Movies and TV shows I really like to get a star. And I typically will write who I watched it with, or what channel it was on or something like that, and the authors. And reading books, I've started adding the date that I finished it. So that's what this is for. And I like this. I like this a lot. I'm 2025. I want to keep it. I'm excited to do a video about what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I'm hoping to change. I'm also going to do a video of all of my bullet journals because, I mean, I have so many, and traveler's notebooks. So for instance, I love Leuchtturm 1917s. I was using this for free writing at one point, but I also used it for some bullet journal type stuff. This is how I used to keep track of things. And I have so many of these notebooks and traveler's notebooks, but it was shortly after starting this in November that I got hooked on wanting a cousin. And I ended up being like, I'm not doing this year. I'm going to do something else. So really excited to do some more videos. These are movies we're supposed to be watching, Phil and I, but at the end of the day, we just sit down and we're like, let's watch Bob's Burgers. My tracker for working out and exercise. I love that the Weeks has this because I decided I'm going to get a Weeks that I can keep in my purse and track some things in there. Though this daily situation that I've started might satisfy. I think I just want the notebooks, you guys. I think I really just want the notebooks. Back cover, when it rains, and I was using this as like a supplemental thing, but I don't use it often, although I did have fantasies of having a commonplace book, which is basically what my bullet journals were. That's it. I mean, you know, give yourself a pat in the back for sticking with me through that. Thank you so much. It is the second time I filmed June, because the first time I just felt it was just all over the freaking place. This one's all over the freaking place. I hope I remember where I said I will put things in. I don't want to spend 5 days editing this video. I just want to get it out to you guys. You have waited long enough, and I appreciate you. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Don't get sick. Drink lots of water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Eat some fiber, and get a squatty potty. Tell me what you're doing for 2025, what your purchases are. I will get July out soon, too. I hope that I'm not crossing my fingers because I'm lying. I'm crossing them because I'm hoping. All right. Peace out, home skillets.